Hi there everybody, this is David, and welcome to New RPG News. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today, from all those Nintendo Direct announcements, to another announcement by Namco Bandai, to a ton of great collector's editions and physicals, to some news of the weird. And all that I do think is worth subscribing for, as I do try my best to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. It's a long shot goal, but I'm trying my best to do it with your help. I think that we can. And also make sure that you like this video. But first, before we do get into all this great news, let's first have a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Yaoling Mythical Journey, an Eastern-themed creature collecting adventure RPG, where, driven by your destiny, you play as a Yaoling keeper, where you document the lives and evolutions of more than 300 different Yaolings, and you're tasked with collecting tokens from the various schools to reunite the Yaoling Keeping Association. In order to do this, though, you'll need to seek out some companions to fight alongside you. But as you do, you will find that beneath the seemingly harmonious facade of the world, a dark force stirs, and the once peaceful Yaolings are becoming increasingly restless and uneasy. And you can see this all for yourself, as the free demo is now available over on Steam, and it showcases about an hour and a half's worth of gameplay, as well as dozens of Yaolings, school challenges, and battles with the fellow Yaoling keepers, not to mention the chance to even encounter an ultra-rare shiny Yaoling. The land of the ancient is massive, with a large open world, full of diversions, like fishing, farming, crafting, and cooking. Or, if you'd like, you can go off the beaten track and then find those hidden demon encounters. So come on, and let's all take up the challenge together as you set your Yaolings lineup and strategies for the battle and answer the call. And you can try out this free demo for yourself just by clicking on the links below. And while you're there, be sure to add Yaoling Mystical Journey to your wishlist. And now with that, let's get on back to today's video. Thank you so much for that. Our top story: Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake launches on November 14th. We're going to be going through a lot of the Nintendo Direct stuff here. I'm going to be going over it pretty briskly. If you want like a more in-depth coverage of all these Nintendo Direct announcements, please do go back and watch my video on that, because I went over all of it pretty extensively. But here we just want to kind of refresh a course and kind of hit the highlights as well. So this is coming out for the PS5, the Xbox, the Switch, and the PC on November 14th worldwide at $60. That's just for the regular game. It's going to have a lot of additional improvements. Number one, it's going to have a brand new job class, the Beastmaster, which is amazing! Last time it got remade for the SNES, it got a brand new job, the Thief. So this is pretty cool. Has voice acting, has 3 different difficulty modes. There's like little sparklies and stuff over the world map, so there's like hidden treasures and stuff. There's new scenarios, there's different tie-ins to Dragon Warrior 1 and 2, maybe even 11. Who knows? So this looks like the real deal here. And I also want to talk about the Collector's Edition, which is up for sale right now. It's a Square Enix Store exclusive, and I went over this pretty extensively again in a separate video talking about just Dragon Quest III, because it was just so amazing. But I do want to talk about the Collector's Edition, just so you're aware of this, and just kind of go over it pretty briefly. So it's going to come with a box that it actually has slots for Dragon Quest III, as well as Dragon Quest Collection of 1 and 2, which is going to be coming out in 2025, so you can kind of like have them both together, kind of like that Trails of Cold Steel box that we got one time. There's also acrylics, and there's acrylics for all sorts of different things, for Zoma, for the heroes, for the various job classes, for like all the NPCs and everything else like that. There's a lot of it. There's pre-order bonuses, such as getting the elevating shoes, which increases your experience points by 1 every time that you walk, getting another Book of Satori, getting a cat suit in addition to these other things right here. See that? See that little guy right there between the sage and the thief right there, right there? That's our new Beastmaster. There he is. Everything else you can kind of see what they are, but that one's like different. They're like, what is that? What is that guy right there? Yeah, that's the Beastmaster right there. So that's how we know that there's a new job class. So this is a very, very, very exciting news on the Dragon Quest front. From one NES remake, we're moving on to an SNES remake with Romancing Saga 2: Revenge of the Seven, being announced for the PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC. This one's coming out on October the 24th. Worldwide for $50. So Dragon Quest III, $60. This one is $50 right here. Let's go over it. It says this is a complete 3D remake of the original Romancing Saga, First released in 1993 in Japan. We never got the SNES game here. We only got like an HD remake that was released on the PC digitally and all that. So yeah, this one's kind of like the first one that we're really getting it, if you know what I mean. It says, keeping the epic story of the wars fought between the imperial line of Varens and the 7 heroes of ancient myth, as well as all the unique and groundbreaking mechanics from the SaGa franchise such as glimmers and formations, Revenge of the Seven reworks the battle and character growth systems and adds in numerous new features, such as a difficulty selection, making it easily accessible to both long-term fans of the series as well as complete newcomers. The expansive world of Advancing Saga 2 that was originally depicted using pixel graphics has been fully updated to gorgeous 3D. All the main characters have also been updated with impressive 3D visuals that keep the distinctive character of the original sprites. So this looks like a full-on like Trials of Mana kind of remake here. It looks pretty cool, using a timeline battle system rather than just like a basic turn-based battle system. This looks pretty freaking amazing just looking at these screenshots and looking at the video above. I'm a huge fan of SaGa. I always have been ever since I played the first ones on the Game Boy. So I am very excited about this. And it's actually releasing physically as well. I have it over here on Amazon. I'm going to include links to this. All the links that I'm going to be showing you as far as buying stuff is concerned, I'm going to keep in the video description as well as the pinned comment. So do be on the lookout for that. This is available physically, so unlike SaGa Emerald Beyond, you can buy this without having to use Play Asia or anything else like that. $50 right here. Moving on to even some more SaGa news, we have an interview where the creator, who I cannot, oh my god, Akitoshi Kawazu? I don't know, talks about old and new SaGa games. And this is an interview over on Silicon Era, and there's some pretty interesting things that we can glean from this. The question. In Japan, SaGa 2 Haihu Densetsu and SaGa 3 Jiku no Hasha 3D remakes both appeared on the DS. How would you feel about a collection of SaGa-style worldwide release of the title? So first of all, if you don't know what those are, that's Final Fantasy Legend 2 and Final Fantasy Legend 3. Those did get remakes on the DS, and I actually Let's Played them on the channel 3-4 years ago, quite some time ago. They got a translation patch, and I Let's Played them on the channel because I'm a huge fan of them, you know, huge fan of SaGa. So the answer. The DS versions would need to be redesigned, but it would be nice to release them if possible. There are no concrete plans in progress at this time. Then, you've teased a SaGa Frontier 2 remaster as a follow-up to SaGa Frontier Remastered. What would you most like to do in such a project, and is there anything that you didn't get to achieve in SaGa Frontier Remastered that you'd like to try in a return to the sequel? It's important to deliver to fans who love the past works, so we want to continue to do so. On the other hand, making it possible for new users to play refined versions of past works is another area where we would like to take on more challenges. And then, the key, the creme de la creme. What would you like to do next with the SaGa series and its new games? Experimentation is a mainstay for SaGa, so I'd like to continue with this with whatever comes next. Perhaps I'll experiment with something a bit more conventional next time. Ha! You don't say! Maybe they're gonna go back to the basics. Maybe. That's what Square has been doing lately. We've seen that with Mana. We're seeing that with all these remakes. We saw it with Triangle Strategy. We saw it with Star Ocean 6. Back to the basics. Ha! You don't say. Yeah. Maybe let's not go way too far off into experimentation world. And maybe we might have one that has, like, you know, a world map. And you don't get really confused on where to go. Maybe something like Final Fantasy Legend 2. Maybe. Fantasian is coming off of Apple Arcade. Holla frickin' Luya. It's announced for the PS5, the Xbox, the PS4, the Switch, and the PC, coming out this winter holiday season. Does it have a price? It looks like there's no price that I don't see. Okay, anyway, it says that it's having brand new features included this time around, including English and Japanese voiceovers and an additional difficulty option, which I think is hysterical. You know what do you want to know what the additional difficulty option is? It's just normal difficulty. Because the original difficulty was just like nightmare mode, chaos, Dark Souls, oh my god. So now it's just normal, like it's like bearable. So yeah, that's I think that's kind of funny. It says you assume the role of Leo as he journeys to recover his memories and solve the mystery of a strange mechanical infestation destroying his world. And it just looks so cool. This is from the original creator, and the original composer of the Final Fantasy series, and Square Enix is actually working with him again in order to publish this. So they're getting a working relationship back together with the original creator of Final Fantasy. So maybe this bodes well for Final Fantasy 17. Maybe they'll use him for that. Maybe they'll go, back to the basics. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom has been announced for the Nintendo Switch, due out on September the 26th. I scoured the internet looking for pre-orders for these Nintendo games. No such thing yet exists. But they're obviously going to be physical. Like, give me a break, it's Zelda, for God's sakes. So, if you didn't hear about this, this is a brand new entry into the Legend of Zelda series, but this time, instead of playing as Link, you get to play as Zelda herself. And this actually takes place in Hyrule, well, in the same Hyrule as Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. And you get to play with her, and you get to use like this, something called a tri-rod, which creates echoes of various things. Echoes of a rock, and you can pick it up and throw it at the enemy. Echoes of the enemies themselves, and you can like create them and like use them as a pet to fight for her. So it looks like Zelda herself doesn't actually fight. She uses other things to fight, and she can create echoes of things to like solve puzzles with. Like there might be like a fan blowing, and she can put a bush there and it will block the fan. Or she needs to climb up to something high, so she stacks some beds around and she can like climb higher onto the ledge or something. So it looks really cool, and it is in the same remake style as Link's Awakening. So this is a 2D Zelda that I can actually play, not a 3D Zelda that I can't play because I just can't. It's ridiculous. If you see me platforming or trying to jump or trying to Z-target, like, it's so bad. It's been 84 years, or maybe just 9 years, since we've gotten a Mario and Luigi RPG title. This is Mario & Luigi Brothership, announced for the Switch, due out on November the 7th. Just like with the Zelda, the pre-orders are not yet available. I don't know what's going on here, but this is great. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the order of the Mario RPGs is Super Mario RPG being number 1, then we have the Mario and Luigi series, then you have the Paper Mario series kind of bringing up the rear. The Mario and Luigi, I just think, is so much nicer than the Paper series as far as quality is concerned, just overall throughout the entirety of the series. You know, some are better than others. But anyway, this is turn-based battles. They're like exploring mysterious islands and all that kind of stuff, and they use their team attacks to fight during battle, but they also use like their team exploration skills to like move around and stuff. So this is a classic, typical Mario and Luigi RPG. Nintendo is doing what it does best, which is delivering fun, classic, quality games, and also adding them to my backlog because it's ridiculous for the end of this year. FairyTail 2 has been announced for the PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC, coming out this winter. Looks like there's not a price tag here. But basically what this is doing is, so the first FairyTail game was turn-based. And that's told, like, I guess the first part of the arc. I don't really know anything about this anime, to be quite honest with you. All I know is what I played in the first game, because I never watched the anime. So anyway, it was a turn-based RPG, a lot of fun. I understood the story, it was what it was. Now we're getting a sequel, and this has turned into an action RPG instead. I don't know why, but it has. And it says that it's depicting the dramatic developments of the Alvarez Empire arc, which is the climax of the original story. It says that you can relive the epic battles against the greatest enemy, Emperor Spriggan, and the Alvarez Empire and his team of elites. Let's see else. Oh, it also says there's an all-new original story, The Key to the Unknown, set after the events of this arc and after the events of the original series. Plus, you get to know new sides of your favorite characters and character stories, as well as tons of new interactions and moments that can only be seen in the game. So, if you're a fan of action RPGs, if you're a fan of this FairyTail anime, or if you're just like me and you played the first game and you liked it, you might want to check out Part 2. I know I am going to be. Farmagia is launching on November 1st for the PS5, Switch, and PC right here. It says that it actually is a Day 1 edition, which I'm going to show you, for the PS5 and the Switch at $60, which includes a copy of the game, an outer box, and a 96-page art book, as well as an original soundtrack. That's a lot! Like, you get a game, an outer box, a huge art book, and a soundtrack for $60, and for $200, you get some acrylics. Just saying. So, yeah. This is interesting. It says you control Ten, that's the protagonist, as he fights his way through the dangerous lands of Felicidad, culminating in huge boss battles. His weapons are the monsters that he grows on his farm. Command his creature army and take down the foes. Increase the size of Ten's army by harvesting new monsters on his farm, then train them on his ranch to increase their strength and research new abilities for use in battle. It's kind of funny. Like, you're farming and you're planting these crops, but they're not really crops. You're like planting monsters. And it's like, well, the corn stalk just bloomed, boom, out comes a wolf. It's like, okay. So it just looks kind of interesting. It looks fun, looks up my alley, and I do want to definitely check this one out. And here is that day one edition that I was just talking about. It looks like it is out of stock over on Amazon. Let's just look at it and see what we can't see right here, though. So it looks like there's the art book right there that you can see, 96-page art book. This is the outer box, beautiful. There's the game itself. I really like that green. Normally I don't like that like lime green, you know, but it looks good right there. Then that is the original soundtrack. So quite a bit of stuff that you get right there for only $60, but we're going to have to keep on checking this in order to make sure that it stays in stock. I'm going to refresh this and see. Yeah, it looks like it's just the PS5 version here. There's not anything else for Switch or PS4 or anything else like that. So we're going to have to keep on checking Amazon to make sure, or to see whenever this thing comes back in stock. Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero has been announced for the PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC, due out in 2025. This is a sequel to the original Phantom Brave that came out on the PS2, and we haven't heard like hide or hair of it ever since. Although it did get like, I don't know, I don't want to say a remake, but it did get a re-release, I should say, on modern consoles in one of those like NIS collection things. So it is available to play on modern consoles. This, though, the sequel, it says, set sail to save the day in this gridless tactical turn-based challenge from the creators of the Disgaea series. Join Marona, a gifted young girl with the power to speak to phantoms, and her loyal phantom companion Ash, as she traverses the ocean world of Ware, providing aid to those in need. When a fleet of ghost pirates attack, it's up to Marona and her friend Apricot to assemble the legendary crew that once defeated these spectral foes. Recruit phantoms, bind them into objects, combine them with gadgets, or even merge them with Marona herself to unleash show-stopping abilities and sink the shipwreck fleet. With over 50 characters and 300 skills to master, prepare for an unforgettable journey. I really enjoyed the first Phantom Brave RPG out there, so I played that back on the PS2. It was good fun. I can't talk today, but here it is. It is available for pre-order. The other editions are sold out, I believe. Yeah, so Nintendo Switch, PS5 are both sold out. PS4 is currently available at $60 over here on Amazon. According to these pictures, it doesn't look like there's anything too much with it. It just says deluxe edition, but there's not pictures of anything that comes inside the deluxe edition. Let me go back and see if it doesn't even say here if anything comes inside the deluxe edition either. So we're gonna have to wait and see what actually comes with this edition. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection has been announced for the PS4, Xbox, Switch, and PC, and this has Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit, coming to the West for the very first time. This is only $40, launching worldwide for $40 on September the 6th. So, it says that these finally comes together for a highly anticipated collection. Both titles were originally released on the Nintendo DS, and Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit was previously only available in Japan. Now, both of these spin-off titles will be remastered, localized, and available worldwide. In Miles Edgeworth, players embark on a legal journey as the esteemed prosecutor and navigate through a collection of puzzling crime scenes and challenging witnesses. In the series' second installment, Prosecutor's Gambit, players prepare for bigger challenges and confront new nemesises? I don't know. As Edgeworth fights to keep his job. In this newly available title, players will learn to interrogate witnesses, find incriminating evidence, and use the power of logic to solve mysteries. So yeah, only $40, and it is available, so check this out. It says it right here. In North America, the Switch version will be available both physically and digitally. Just the Switch version. In Japan, the PS4 and Switch versions will be available both physically and digitally. So essentially, what that means is that North America is getting a digital PS4 version with a Switch version available physically, which is right here for $40 over on Amazon. Again, I will include links to this in the pinned comment. Bandai Namco's Summer Showcase is set for July 5th at the Anime Expo of this year. You're going to get announcements, reveals, and first looks at anticipated anime-type games. It says it's going to be at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 8:30 Eastern Time. Heavy with announcements, reveals, and first looks at anticipated anime games. Maybe a new Tales game? It says the panel-style presentation will feature a string of game news and reveals, including news and updates for Dragon Ball, Gundam, Sword Art Online, and more, with surprises in store. Ha 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 ha! On the show floor, attendees will be able to get hands-on demos of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Sword Art Online Fraction Daydream, and Gundam Breaker 4 across their several booths. This is in Los Angeles Convention Center, and maybe someone might also be there. Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD Remastered is now available on the PC. This kind of got like a stealth drop right here. This was Switch only, now it's on the PC for $50. It says all purchases made by July 17th will be automatically upgraded to the Month 1 edition, which includes a digital art book featuring concept art, character designs, historical documents, and the latest visuals for both games included in the collection. This includes Baten Kaitos Eternal Wings in the Lost Ocean, as well as Origins, which were originally released for the GameCube. I played them back in the day on the GameCube. They were great. I actually went and I ordered the physical version of this game over on PlayAsia, played through them as well, with the added quality of life features, with the speed up, with the encounter off, with all this different kind of stuff, making it a pretty painless experience this time around. I would definitely recommend playing these games, if not just for the battle system and the scenery and the graphics, but also for the amazing story too. Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope Deluxe, announced for the PC. This is an enhanced edition of the original Shovel Knight. Additional platforms and release dates were not yet announced though, and it says, jump, battle foes, and seek treasures as you quest to defeat the Order of No Quarter and their vile leader, the Enchantress. Shovel of Hope Deluxe enriches the original game with 20 distinctive playable characters, seamless online multiplayer, and innovative additions like Rewind and Save States. Whether you're a longtime shoveler or eager to discover the Blue Burrower for the first time, Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope Deluxe invites everyone to celebrate a decade of digging, dashing, and discovery. And there's more Shovel Knight news too. There's actually a new mainline Shovel Knight game in development right here. It says, we are committed to crafting an experience that not only honors the Shovel Knight legacy, but also pioneers groundbreaking, innovative gameplay mechanics. This isn't just another sequel, it's a bold new adventure that will launch Shovel Knight into an entirely new dimension of gaming. Although we're not quite ready to unveil everything just yet, rest assured that this game will bring electrifying action, richer mechanics, and all the timeless charm that you'd expect from a Shovel Knight title. And for those of you eager to uncover what's coming next, you might find some subtle clues scattered throughout our previous games. I know this isn't quite an RPG, but it's close enough, and hell, I like the game. Whatever, it's my news show, I'm going to talk about it. So, if you like it too, please let me know. Chinese action RPG Fate Seeker 2 is coming to the PS5 on July 4th, and the PC version is also going to be updated with English language support. So I don't know anything about this game. It says that it was released over on the PC before since 2021, but it was only in Chinese. So now it's getting updated with English so we can all play it. It says, it tells the tale of Zhu Yu, a rebellious youth whose unwavering determination guides him through the challenging paths of growing and rebellion. He lost his parents whenever he was young, and fueled by the sad loss of his family, his heart burns with a strong sense of justice. Inspired by his parents' bravery against corruption, he promises to make villains pay for what they did. Honoring his ancestors' good deeds, Zhu Yu is determined to cleanse the land of corruption, confronting dishonest officials. And it's a highly open-ended world offering limitless exploration opportunities, facilitated by seamless map designs making it easy to traverse between places without waiting. In this expansive martial arts world, I guess it's one of those Wuxia RPGs, players can freely wander, explore without constraints, replay favor, whatever that means, and settle grudges as they see fit. They can visit old pavilions, busy markets, and beautiful landscapes like mountains, rivers, lakes, and seas. Players can make friends with martial heroes and companions, creating a big martial arts world. So, yeah, lots of stuff to do here. I might want to check this one out just to look into it. I did have a good time with Sword and Fairy, so I've had a couple of good times with some of the Chinese RPGs that I've seen lately. Oh, for God's sakes. Elrentaros Wanderings is coming to the West on August 16th for the Switch and the PC. This is an action RPG right here, and it looks like there's a standard edition for $50 and a deluxe edition also for $50. Oh, you have to buy it at the Red Arcs game exclusive. That's what it is. So yeah, the same price, but you buy it at an exclusive store and you get different stuff with it. Or for $70, you get a collector's edition. I'll go over that collector's edition too. It says, despite running urgently, the protagonists can't recall why they're running, and after discovering a mysterious mirror, they suddenly get enveloped in a bright light. Upon waking up, they find themselves in a tent outside of town. Despite this being their first time in the town, they feel like they know everybody. In this nostalgic town, the protagonist grows through their interactions with everyone, and throughout their journey, they'll interact with the people of Elrentaros and solve their problems, encountering a specific event during their adventures will make them travel between two different worlds. Having no idea which one is their real world, they're determined to discover what's happening to them and the secrets between the real worlds. Okay, that looks kind of interesting right there. Let's look at this collector's edition right here for the Switch. Let's see what we got going on here. So we get a game, steel case. So there's the there's the game. There's the steel case right there. 3 enamel pins down here. This keychain, sticker sheet over here, and a double-sided poster. This must be the 2 different sides of the poster, as well as that large box. That's not a bad deal. Like, you get a lot of stuff here for only $70, and it's not just, you know, little acrylics for $200 either. And now, in our final story of the day, how Hidetaka Miyazaki made Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree his biggest expansion yet. I don't even want to talk about that because I don't really care. What I do care about is this little tidbit at the very bottom of the interview right here. It says, if the opportunity presented itself, Miyazaki says that he'd like to experiment with other kinds of games. However, he also says the bigger challenge was to find an environment that allows for games that deviate from Software's typical mainstream hits, basically things that are not Souls-likes. He also mentioned that part of him wants to make a traditional Japanese role-playing game someday. Yeah. So he might be making a traditional RPG. He said From Software released one in 2006 called Enchanted Arms. Too bad it sucked and it had like these awful gay stereotypes, but whatever. So yeah, he says he probably won't likely make something related to Enchanted Arms because it's not really his thing. He'd probably create his very own different JRPG. I just think that this is kind of interesting, kind of exciting to see this big company kind of go off on a different way to something that I might enjoy a little bit better than a Souls-like. So, that's it for this week's news. We had a lot of stuff to talk about, and I want to know what you're most excited about. If you're going to be picking up any of these games that I covered today, let me know in the comments. And as always, have a good day.